Genesis chapter 2, verse 10. A river flowed out of the Eden to water the garden, and there it divided and became four rivers. So the river flowing out of Eden, not flowing into Eden, flowing out of Eden. So the blessings, you can see that sort of an idea, the blessing that is flowing out of God's special garden. Later on you will find as well that in the New Jerusalem the water will flow out of the city, right? So this is sort of kind of as well idea what's coming up here. But in geographically, yes, we don't only need to see the symbolically, as we are trying to just sort of show a symbolism of the water gives life flowing out of Eden kind of idea. So it comes from God, God gives life, as we've seen when God breathed into Adam. We don't need to see it just like that. It can be a simple geographical factor as well. Okay, now then verse 11. The name of the first is the Pishon. It's the one that flows around the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. They feel or they think that this land of Havilah was like present-day Saudi Arabia kind of idea, gold coming from there, but we don't know where this river was. It could be, but with all these rivers here, it's important to remember rivers do change their course of flow. When these words were written, I'm pretty sure the rivers would have changed its course of flow. I remember in South Africa I was on a friend's farm, and there were diamonds in the farm, kind of. You could search hard and far and wide, you could sort of find it. And the reason being because the Orange River flew through the farm, but these days the Orange River is a couple of 100 kilometers away from it, the flow. So it changed direction, and that is not even thousands of years ago. So in this case as well, it is that in Moses' days they would have been able to sort of pinpoint it, but with the change in geography through the years, we can't really say for sure. So anybody telling that they exactly know where the Garden of Eden was, I think it's impossible to know exactly where. So in this case it might be Saudi Arabia, kind of the land of Havilah. Verse 12, and the gold of the land is good, bdellium and onyx stones are there. So yeah, good gold. There's different kinds of rocks, semi-precious rocks. That is, they're very expensive, would have been for them in those days. So we see that God not only created ultimately for humans in food to eat, but as well in like gold and stones, semi-precious rocks and other kinds of things that God made. Again, we see that God is not stingy. He's making things that we don't really need. Okay, I don't have any gold on me or bdellium or onyx stones on me, but some people do, and it is beautiful. Okay, the name of the second river, verse 13. The name of the second river is the Gihon. It's the one that flowed around the whole land of Cush. Cush in general in the Old Testament is like Ethiopia or southern Egypt kind of area, but some Bible scholars see that there's the sort of land of the Kassites, which would have been like in Mesopotamia area as well. If it's there, then like I say, then you can sort of find that all these rivers flow sort of, there's areas where they all sort of can get together even today, but we don't for sure. Verse 14, and the name of the third river is the Tigris, which flows east of Assyria, and the fourth river is the Euphrates. Well, we know where the Tigris is, we know where the Euphrates is. There's still rivers that flow. Again, do they flow today like they flowed 3,000 years ago or 4,000 years ago? Most likely not. I mean, some of it might still be sort of in the same place, but there might have been changes as well. But sure, they would have flown in the same kind of area, right? That's not that they totally would have. They wouldn't have moved from Asia like Southeast Asia, way all the way up to the Mediterranean kind of idea, right? That's not going to happen. But yes, the specific flow would change over time, but we do know those rivers, right? East of Assyria, so most likely east of the capital of Assyria, okay, and not so much the land of Assyria. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. Okay, most important rivers, the Tigris and Euphrates, even still today, it's the most important and the biggest rivers in that part of the world. But yes, I've said a few times we can't know for sure. We can speculate, right? But we can't, and you can't say, well, that means the Bible is wrong here, or you can't know for certain things, that certain things are not sure, that you're not sure about it. We can speculate words, meaning, etc. where certain rivers are today. We might get up with better explanations. But before anyone say, oh, you theologians or you Christians, you just always say you don't know, it can be, we're not sure. Scientists are not sure about lots of things. Science changed through the years, and it will still change as we learn and obtain more knowledge. And not only that, there's lots of things we think we know, but ultimately as we learn more, we see that we were not correct in it. So I don't see that as a problem. I don't see it as it means we still have lots of things to learn. I mentioned in other videos, we do as Christians have a lot to learn. None of us know everything. And if someone claims to know everything, then he's lying.